Yo, what is up guys? Welcome back to the channel for a brand new League Racing Highlights video, and we're here today for round 2 of season 2 in the RaceTech Championship, the RaceTech Teams Championship. And as you can see on screen, here are the team standings after the first round in Spa. If you haven't seen that, go ahead and watch that before we dive into round 2 here today in Japan. We are currently sitting P2 as a team ahead of Williams Sim Racing. Alvaro Caraton won the race, of course, in Spa. However, his teammate DNF'd, and unfortunately I don't have any recording from Q1 from Japan, but as you can see, we just about scraped through in P13. We only used one set of tyres. We thought we were safe after the first run, but yeah, not as safe as we would have liked, but just about enough to get us through this first part of qualifying. And yeah, the feeling today was a little bit yeah, I wasn't feeling so confident in the pace, maybe missing a tenth or two in raw quali pace, and even the race setup I wasn't feeling too confident with. But you know, we're going to do what we can, see what we can pull off, see what the competition are saying as well in terms of their pace, and yeah, let's see where we end up. But heading into our last run of Q2 now, we are currently P10, so we really need this lap. We need this lap to count. We need to improve, or we're more than likely going to be out of qualifying here. So heading into the first couple of corners now, hitting a nice late apex there, just about matching our previous delta as we head into the S's. I love this track so much. Maybe not one of my best in terms of raw pace over the years, and yeah, it's a bit like Silverstone in that way. I love to drive the track, but it's never really gelled with me in terms of raw outright pace. But heading into the Degners now, flicking the car in, as you can see on the Delta, gaining a lot of time. I think we had a huge snap in our first run, and heading into the hairpin, we're just under 2.5 tenths up, nearly 3 tenths up now, heading out of the hairpin. So yeah, looking good for a healthy improvement here, but we know that everyone behind us as well is likely to be improving as well. So we're going to keep pushing on, see what we can extract out of this lap, heading a little bit wide of the second apex and spoon there, and hugging the left hand side, avoiding some of the bumps as we head to 130R as we start sector 3. Tamas Gal goes to the top with a 125.5. We're going to flick the car into the final chicane here, and yeah, take it nice and safe on the traction now. We've done the hard work, 3 tenths up now, come across the line. We've done a 25.8, a couple of tenths shy of Tamash, as we were kind of alluding to earlier, maybe missing that 1 or 2 tenths. And skipping on to the end of the session, have we made it through? Just about, only P9. We lose Declan Barrett from Q2 as well, a bit of a shock there. But we're through to Q3, that's what matters now. It's a fresh session, and you know, the opportunity is there to try and improve now, and yeah, reset, go again, and see what we can pull off into this last run of Q3. I believe our first run was invalid, so we basically need something on the board here. It was either invalid or just not very good. But yeah, heading into the first couple of corners once again here, heading a little bit wide of the apex, getting a good decent bite of rotation, but it was a little bit too late, and we're nearly a tenth down as we head into the start of the S section here. And we're just slowly pulling it back, heading towards the end of the S section. We've pulled the 10th back, and we're just about even on our previous delta as we head into sector 2 here, flicking the car in to the Degners, a little bit squiggly through the second one. Lost the back end there as we clipped the inside curb a bit too much, flicking the car in aggressively into the hairpin. A little bit wide. It doesn't always matter if you go wide in the hairpin, but I think we were maybe a little bit too wide there. But nonetheless, we're half a tenth up now on our delta. But will we be ruining our mistake through the first couple of corners? Let's see. Through spoon, a little bit tight on the entry there for the second apex. Didn't really allow the car to run out wide to get a better exit out onto this long straight towards 130R. I'm the last sector. And yeah, it's risk versus reward into this last chicane. We're going to go for the cut over the chicane, flick the car in aggressively. We bump over the curb completely wrong. We lose a lot of time compared to what we should have been doing at least. And it is only a mid-6 across the line. Yeah, we were gutted, really gutted. Yeah, we lost probably a tenth and a half, maybe even 2/10 in the last chicane there. And yeah, I mean, that would have still only put us around the P5 area. But if you count for the first sector as well, I mean, it's a lot of ifs and buts. Messy lap, scruffy lap, and we only start P8, unfortunately, in Japan. And yeah, a notoriously difficult track to overtake. So yeah, it's gonna be difficult. We're gonna start on the hard medium strategy and see what we can do with some fresher, softer tyres towards the end of the Grand Prix and try and make a comeback in this race. We fear that if we go on a medium hard, we may just be stuck at the back of that medium hard strategy train and yeah, might be gobbled up by the hard medium runners. But we're ready for the lights now in Japan, and it is lights out and away we go for the Japanese Grand Prix. Do we get a good launch off the line? We don't really get a good launch on these hard tyres, and we are immediately under attack here from Luca Rapassa heading through the first couple of corners. You may have seen on the left there, Julian Klaffenbach goes completely off the track there. He bottomed out all by himself on the curb, and he is tumbled way down the order. So we're immediately up one position, holding on from the F2 champion and McLaren development driver of Luca Rapassa behind. So yeah, first sector done, 1 place gained. So I'll call that a successful start to the race, even if we were under a little bit of pressure there off the line.
My God, this is
and yeah, it's just about trying to settle in here on the first lap, see if there's any opportunities, see if there's any mistakes in front, and see what the strategy for everyone around us is. At this point, I hadn't even realised he went off in the first corner. I was asking about Julian's tyres. He's way behind. He's not even in our race anymore. And Nelson Alves heading super deep here in Spoon Corner. So he sensed a little bit of an opportunity there, burning a little bit of the battery. But I think we soon realised the move wasn't really going to be on. So we switched the battery off, and we are just going to save the battery up and focus on the rest of the stint. You know, we can really throw the race away by pushing too hard on the first lap, destroying our tyres. But we're just going to lock in now. You know, look after the tyres, look after the battery, and you know, see what we can pull off heading into the second half of the race. You know, this is the moment where we're going to shine on this hard medium strategy. I think the first top 3 are on the medium hard strategy, and Alvaro Caraton leads the way on the hard medium strategy in P4. But as you can see, VSA came out on lap 7 there, and Fabrizio Donoso decided to take the opportunity for a cheap pit stop there, very early. It is possible to go to the end from lap 7, but it will require quite a lot of tyre saving. And as you can see here, as we head into the first couple of corners, the VSC has ended. We were a little bit.
Why is Alvaro so far behind? What's happened there?
Yeah, we were kind of confused why Alvaro was not attached to the leaders, but we were also not really attached to the back of Nelson there. So yeah, maybe both of us caught sleeping a little bit there. And heading on to the end of lap 12 now, nothing really happened. Alvaro was just sort of sat on the back of the medium hard runners, saving his tyres, biding his time. And as you can see, Jan Halliday pulls the trigger for TES there, and goes to the hard tyre to complete his strategy. And yeah, lap 12, lap 13.
Let me know where he is in comparison to Fabrizio.
Yeah, it's a very long stint on those mediums. These guys have been afforded a lot of time, a lot of patience from us hard runners, and it's allowed them to extend and have really fresh hard tyres towards the end of the race.
I was going to say, if
I could get my words out, and as you can see, Tauschgal responds to Jan on the next lap.
If you want,
and yeah, I was a bit confused why we weren't really pushing them to box earlier to try and push them down the order, but yeah, it is what it is now. Alvaro has escaped out up front, and we're a little bit stuck behind Ryan Bakar here, as yeah, the hold from when the medium hard runners has really exposed us here. So we're going to go for the undercut on Nelson Alves, as yeah, we didn't really want to sit behind any longer. We were losing a lot of time into Alvaro sat behind the likes of Ryan and Nelson, but there wasn't really anything I could do as the third car in the train. So yeah, we're going to take the initiative, go for the undercut. In hindsight, maybe a little bit like Spa, maybe a little bit hasty in making that decision to jump into the box early. But yeah, There's just nothing we can do now. We have to move on and see what this race has in store for us now. But yeah, the objective now is just to try and have a nice fast outlap without overburning the tyres, obviously. But we want to get close to Ryan here. We've seen him struggling with the race pace in the first half of this race. So yeah, we want to get onto the back of him without pushing too hard. Obviously pull the undercut off on Nelson, try and get closer to Alvaro as well,
also, this is a very good start for us.
basically be
hard
the
runners,
lead
like
medium runner heading towards the medium hard train as they converge upon each other. I think Jan Halliday is just about catching the back of Fabrizio Donoso as we go wide there. Obviously, as we're trying to get a little bit closer to Ryan Bakar there, we overstep the mark. We're going to have to burn down way more battery than we would have liked to just sort of get back within range. And yeah, that has basically cost us an opportunity of going for the move onto the front straight there. And yeah, a critical error. As you can see, the gap isn't really coming down that quickly. I think we gained a couple of tenths on Taras Gal there, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, we're not really gaining the time we should be as we undercut Nelson Alves there. And yeah, that kind of yeah, maybe we shouldn't have followed Ryan in there and just waited it out and just overtaken him in time with fresher tyres. But it is what it is now. We've gained only another couple of tenths as we head on to the next lap. And as you can see here, Ryan is trying to break the slipstream, defend from us. He's burning his battery down to try and prevent us from overtaking. And yeah, a little bit short-sighted maybe. Obviously, we are racing each other. We're on the same strategy. But if we don't work together, there is a risk that we never catch the medium hard runners before our tyres are no good anymore. These tyres are only really better than the hards for probably 5 or 6 laps, I would say. And we're wasting them by battling each other. So as you can see here, heading towards the end of lap 18.
Where's this train come from?
We have Nelson Alves behind us, Luca Rapassa and Declan Barrett have gone 2 laps longer, I believe. And will soon be on the back of this train as well. So yeah, kind of regretting our decision in going quite early. Obviously we have a bit better track position, but yeah, we're going to pay for it at the end with older tyres. And as you can see here, we're going to have to try and make the move on Ryan Bakar. We're not gaining on the hard runners quick enough, and we're going to go round the outside here into the first couple of corners. Ryan fights us back, clatters into the side of us a little bit there. And
he had so much room, that's crazy.
Yeah, we tried to leave him the space. Unfortunately, there's still a bit of contact. But yeah, he apologised after the race, so all good there, no harm done. But unfortunately, well, a little bit of harm was done because it's one less car that Alvaro Caraton on a couple of laps fresher tyres is going to have to go through. As we pass the back marker of Alex Santana there, Alvaro Caraton is right on the back of us. Obviously, Nelson Alves, his teammate, is not going to fight him on the older tyres. He's going to let him go straight away. And yeah, we're trying to pull the gap down now. It's under 2 seconds now to the lead train of the medium hard runners, approaching that critical 1 second window for DRS, and we're just burning the battery here, hoping we can get into the DRS and maybe, just maybe, hold Alvaro behind here. And as we'll flick the car into the last chicane here, we are just outside that 1 second window, and yeah, we're not going to have the battery to defend, and he's going to have the far superior tyres to get the traction off the last couple of corners. And yeah, he's easily through here, and we've done him a lovely favour there of using all our battery to launch him towards the leaders there. So yeah, bit of a mistake there. We just about hold on versus Nelson Alves, and yeah, we've had to keep on burning basically to stay with the fresh tyres of Alvaro, struggling a little bit on the battery percentage, but crucially we have got the DRS of the back of Fabrizio Donoso. And remember, he pitted super early under that VSC. That strategy not really paying off for him at the moment, and he's going to be seriously vulnerable heading into the final 5 laps of the race. As you can see, he's picked up a 3-second time penalty to add to his pain here today. And yeah, he's dropping out of this DRS detection zone as we head towards the end of his lap. He's completely out of battery, flashing from the back of his car. And yeah, this is going to be an easy move as long as we don't do anything silly. as we start lap 23 in just a moment. As you can see, we need to get past him quickly and try and attach ourselves to the back of Tamas Gal here before our tyres are completely dead. We're going to make easy work here of Fabrizio. Unlucky to him to not pull that strategy off. I think the VSC came in a little bit too early for him to make full use of that, and just probably a couple of laps early in general to go for that strategy. But yeah, as you can see, skipping on to the end of that lap, we have attached ourselves to the top 3 now. We've got the DRS, but by this point we've been on these tyres for 8 laps now, 8 laps, and yeah, at this point, considering how long the medium hard runners were allowed to go in the first stint, our tyres are definitely, let's say, not better at this point. They may be equal, but they're definitely not better, and as every lap ticks on, our tyres are going to be getting comparatively worse to the hard runners. So yeah, it is no longer about trying to pull off a podium here against these guys. It is a matter of trying to keep the likes of Nelson and Luca and Declan on the fresher tyres behind. And yeah, we're just doing our very utmost to try and stay connected to these hard runners DRS, and it's basically yeah, we're just surviving at the moment as we have a huge slide out of Degla 2 there. That's just at the moment we hit 60% tyre wear on our left rear. We had a huge slide, nearly ended our race in the barriers there, but we live to see another day. It's definitely not the same, but anyways, we move on now, second to last lap, and we're just monitoring the situation with ERS around us, making sure we keep the DRS of Tamas Gal here. And let's see if Jan and Tamas go for a battle here on the last lap. I would love to see that. It's definitely for our own race. See if there's any pieces to pick up to go for the podium here. And yeah, we're definitely low on battery, but we're just managing it the best we can. Make sure we get the DRS here. One mistake and our race for this P4 is over with how vulnerable we are on the battery. But we get the DRS and we're safe, at least for now, on this final lap of the race, as Luca Rapace applies the blowtorch to the back of Nelson Alves. And yeah, this is no longer about trying to stay super close to Tamas and Jan, try and pick up a podium. We don't care about the DRS detection anymore, because we won't be getting DRS again at all until the end of this race. So yeah, it's just about managing the battery, managing the distance between myself and Nelson, and making sure we hold on to this position. Obviously not ideal in terms of our strategy, going a little bit early. Maybe P3 or P2 was on the cards today if we had executed that better. You could see for the second week in a row, Alvaro's nailed the strategy. He's got to the lead and he's pulled away here, but obviously he was a few seconds up the road by the time we came to pit. So yeah, maybe that wasn't really on the cards for us today, but we'll see. Enough of the hypotheticals though. We have one long straight now. Have we saved up enough battery to beat the likes of Nelson and Luca behind us, to keep them behind on that longer tyre strategy? And it looks like we have, heading towards the last couple of corners. We've managed to pick up a little bit of slipstream from the cars in front as well. No deads yet. It's basically been a perfect management for the last couple of laps as we head across the line here for a P4. I think we were P4 in Belgium as well. Getting a little bit sick of the P4s recently, but yeah, we'll take it from P out on the grid. Difficult qualifying. I think a little bit of lack of pace there as well. Our teammate comes home in P9 as well, so exactly the same result as the first round: P4, P9, P4, P9. And yeah, it's a decent, solid-ish start to the season, obviously for ourselves, for the team. But yeah, not setting the world alight just yet, not optimizing quality, not optimizing the strategy in the perfect way. We've just gone a little bit too early, got a little bit too hasty in these first couple of races. So yeah, that's definitely going to be something that we're going to look to work on in the coming 6 races. But yeah guys, that's it today for the second round of RaceTech Season 2. Join me next time for Jeddah, and let's see if we can learn from some of our mistakes in the strategy so far this season. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Peace.